Are you worried about people hating you or misunderstanding you? Well, realize that you misunderstand yourself. There's a lot of things that you can't see clearly within yourself. And also other people can't see things clearly about you. So, and oftentimes the things you're imagining that people are thinking about you is just what you're thinking about yourself and worried about and projecting on them. So that's why the futility of worrying what people think is crazy, because you don't know what they think. You don't know what you think about yourself. Often people mirror, or people feel threatened by, if you do think highly of yourself, people feel threatened by that. If you do act like you hate yourself, people find that repellent. So it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to be hated and you're going to be misunderstood. And one of the best ways that I help myself when I'm thinking about that worry of what people think is I think about some of my favorite artists who are polarizing and who I adore, but then other people absolutely hate. For instance, I love Lana Del Rey, but when Lana Del Rey came out, there was such an intense, the judgment and this kind of scathing reviews. It was right after she had an SNL performance that really went wrong, and so everybody was really piling on, and I didn't care about all the criticism. I still liked her. I loved her music. I was so excited listening to her kind of atmospheric, magnetic, hypnotic music was such a wonderful experience for me that all the noise of what other people thought just didn't impact me. And I remember telling this guy about how much I loved her and him kind of having a judgment, and I just simply thought, oh, that's weird. That's weird. And see, that kind of helps me realize, you think about the people that really see you and love you and love your work, and if somebody were to say to them, well, you shouldn't like them, and this is why you should hate them and why you should think of them this way, well, that doesn't really impact you, because you have a connection with that person and their art. Or if you know somebody intimately as a friend, and then there's suddenly a smear campaign against them, whether it's within your little group, or whether it's some strange kind of journalist hit piece on them, you read that and you just see it so clearly that this person doesn't know them as a dimensional being. They just have a kind of smear campaign. And so seeing those examples are what helped me see that if worrying about what people think, there are so many people out there that do see you and like you. And so just kind of remembering how polarizing figures get all sorts of different impressions, and that didn't impact you as somebody that already resonated with them, right? I think about another polarizing person or character is Holden Caulfield. There's so many people that love that character in that book, Catcher in the Rye, and then there are so many people that just absolutely hate it. And for me, it's again that example, just like with Lana Del Rey. I'll think, I don't understand why you could be so mad at it. I love this voice. I love being in someone's consciousness and really feeling like I'm in their head in a way that I had never felt with a book. And then when people are mad about how they're really keen on criticizing him, I just think, well, who cares? Of course he's flawed. He's a character. He's flawed and he's entertaining, and this is I just don't you have to kind of remember these examples, because if you think of yourself as Lana Del Rey or Holden Caulfield, you have to realize that there are going to be people that are just completely mad out of their mind at you and what you're saying. And then there's going to be people that are just so excited and they get it, and they think, wow, I really like that this person, I really like the insights this person has. So that's kind of what helps me. And it's same with, especially comedians too. Comedians can be polarizing. I think it's strange when people act like they hate Amy Schumer and that she's not that great. They act like, and I noticed that with men, and I think she's pretty great. I mean, when she came onto the scene with The Last Fuckable Day, I thought that was genius. And then she had that sketch about rape culture and that parody with the Texas show. For Friday Night Lights, and I just thought, I think she hits on things that men don't like, and then they also rationalize that they hate her because of her looks. So it's really brutal. But I think no, I love her comedy and I love her memoir, and I don't necessarily. I noticed that there's just such a sharp negativity toward her that, I just think, no. And you just got to remember that you think, so when you're in that kind of space where you're triggered by people and what they think and you're kind of activated thinking about it, think about all the people that you like that other people have complete contempt for, and that can help you see how, yeah, there's always going to be people that misunderstand, hate, or see you differently. And there's always going to be people that really see you, get you, and love you, and resonate. So just try to put that into a perspective. And I think that's really helpful. And I know it seems almost deceivingly simple. But for me, it really helps because it reminds me of how unconditional I am toward people that I really love. And I mean, these are public figures too. I'm not getting into, really, I guess, when friends or family, when someone's putting them down and you're, because there's not often circumstances where that's happening very, very intensely, because it doesn't quite have the same mob witch hunt feel as when public figures get hate. So that's why I use public figures there. But I hope that was helpful. And if you're worried about what people think, just remember, often what you think about yourself, you're projecting on other people. And sometimes what people think, you could just never really know. You're mind reading, you're assuming. So just start assuming the best. Assume in a very breezy way that there's going to be people that misunderstand, there's going to be people that understand, there's going to be people that love, and there's going to be people that hate. And actually all of those could even be projections. Like when people really love you, they might be overestimating things. So just really, just kind of hone in on how perception is really so strange and finicky, and use your favorite artists to kind of help you see that.